started. Today is Monday, which means it's Monday Crafternoon. So hello to the start of another glorious week, one of the last ones in the month of August. So that means we're almost in September, which means it's almost October. So it's basically Halloween, guys. It's Halloween. So I am closing down, ramping down what I'm making for Halloween, but I did notice, so I made a Halloween pumpkin, a decorated jack-o'-lantern, did it Saturday night, and it was a candy corn theme, but I realized that I wanted to have a thin wreath to go along with it, so I have this welcome sign. So we're going to do a very quick and easy wreath today. We got a couple cute little thingies we're going to add in for some fun, a little bit of flair. And then on the ribbons, so I took a picture of the ribbons I thought I was going to use. And I thought I was going to just stick with the all black. So this was the original design. But when you look at that with the black sign, that is a lot of black and a lot of dark. And I don't necessarily want to have that much dark in there. So what I'm going to do is take this one out, bring this one in because it's got a plaid. And then for the bow, I'm going to add two 1.5 inch ribbons, just kind of one loop of each. So I'm going to add an orange between the black, and then this black will be my top layer. So I'm trying to be, I hate to use this word because it's going around, I'm trying to be mindful of how dark the wreath is and trying to lift it up by adding some of the lighter colors. So we are going to start today with making our wreath frame. So let's put that up here for you. So I went ahead and ordered, I just ordered, I think 2 cases of these from Dollar Tree. So I'm waiting for them to come in at we have a brand new Dollar Tree by me. I'm so excited. So excited. I love it. It's great. It's clean. It's bright. Everything's put away. It's actually stocked. It's amazing. But I want to make sure I have enough of these because I also sell wreath kits, and these come in the kits. So I'm going to be putting together my Christmas wreath kits very, very soon. All right. So what I have here is these are Chenille Stems. It's a pipe cleaner. But you notice here, this is a thin wreath. So we have 4 rings. This is the outer rings, 1, 2, 3, 4. And these are the spines. So I'm going to take a pipe cleaner and I'm going to put it in here right above ring 2 on that one side of the spine. I'm going to bring it through, but this time I'm coming through also on ring 2, but I'm bringing it on the other side of the spine, okay? So it looks kind of like a zigzag. Think the Harry Potter scar, right? Then I bring it up and I just twist it together. I pull tight and twist it just one time, okay? That is how we get our mesh to stay in the wreath. It's going to hold all of our little goodies on there. So I have to add 6 of those on the inside again. So I'm coming around over ring 2, coming back on the other side of the spine, going back through ring 2. All right, and then just doing a little twisty. We like to put it around on either side of the spine just so it doesn't go sliding back and forth. Now we will have to do that when we do the outside. When it's going to go between, we just have to tug a little bit harder. Sometimes I bend the frame just ever so slightly just to make sure it's not going to slide around. But once I've had these made, I've never had an issue with things sliding around because you've got ribbon on there, you've got the sign on there, all of that helps keep everything in place. And the reason I like to do a lot of the thin wreaths is, as you know, you've heard me say it, I live outside of Chicago in the western suburbs, which means it's colder than a rat's ass here in winter. And a lot of people have a storm door. So this has to be thin enough to fit between a storm door. And this style will do that. So I'm also trying to focus on making some lower priced wreaths because I'm going to be doing a craft show. Actually, I'm going to be doing 2. I've got, I think, 7 craft shows lined up for fall, but 2 of them are before Halloween. So that's when I'm bringing my Halloween and fall. Okay, so now here's the spines. We're going to go in the middle of the spine. Okay, just kind of wrapping it around rings 3 and 4. Bringing it up to the top. Now I'm just going to pull just a little bit, just so you see it, just bend a tiny little bit, and then just twist. And then that's what you have. Just gotta make sure, you can even try to like slide it a little bit. Make sure it doesn't slide too much. If it does, then just bend it a little bit more. Pull a little bit tighter. Give it a little tug. All right. And this usually goes pretty quick once you're used to doing these. My apologies. Feeling a little Flemish this morning. Oh. So last night I made a reel. Basically making fun of that whole, it's demure, it's mindful. If I hear that one more time, I swear to God, my head's gonna freaking explode. So I had to go make a reel and make fun of it because it's so stupid. Sorry. Sorry. All right, here's the last one. Oh, my pile of craft supplies on my dining room table has just decided to do an avalanche all on its own. Either that or we've always felt like there was some kind of weird spiritual presence in the dining room. My stepdaughter has seen like shadowy figure in there, and I don't know why. It's kind of a weird thing, but maybe Ghosty's playing with my stuff because it's Halloween. It's his time of year, or her, I don't know. So this is what we have as our finished wreath frame. We've got 12 little spots to put mesh on. That's where we're at right now. Don't cut these off. We're gonna use these up until the very end, okay? Don't cut those off. So now, let me move the sign. I have already cut my mesh because nobody likes to see people cut mesh. So this is 10-inch mesh, okay? This is 10-inch mesh. I got this from Joann, okay? It's not super thick. It's kind of a little bit thin, but it was on sale, so I did what I did. And this is 10-inch mesh. I cut 12 pieces of this. These are all cut at 18 inches a piece, okay? 18 inches long. What we're gonna do, move that over there. All right, make sure you can see it really good. I'm gonna lay this flat. See, it wants to curl up. So what we want to do for this particular project, because we're trying to keep it really thin, is we're gonna lay it flat. Sometimes you can even, if it's gonna curl up, take something with a little bit of weight, kind of put it at the end, just so it doesn't kind of come up on you. So I'm gonna take my fingers down here, and I'm just gonna pinch up the middle. Can you hear the scraping sound? Going right up the center. So I'm using that yellow stripe down the middle as my guide point. And I'm just scraping that all the way up. And then you end up with the cute little bow tie. Or a little barrette, for my hat. Ooh. All right, it's basically, it's a bow tie shape. All right, so with the ends, we want to put the ends down. So we're gonna start here on the outside ring, okay? Don't open these pipe cleaners back up, all right? And I should say, the reason I chose black against all of this is because if you look at our ribbons, they're heavily black, but my topmost layer is black, both with the 2.5 inch when I'm going to be putting them in here and also on the bow. So that's why the black will be hidden the most with the ribbon. So that's why I went with black. So I'm going to put this on the outside, okay? Just set it right on top of there. And then I'm just going to just twist it once, okay? Don't cut these off. Don't cut them off yet, okay? Now, as you go through, you might notice little hairs. Just pluck them off. But what I want to do, I'll show you guys, is we've got it in here, but we want to lay this flat. We want to overlap the edges, okay? Just like this. And here's where I give credit where the credit is due. I learned this method from Sincerely Creative Mom, Coach Melissa. She's one of the coaches with Decor Exchange, but she runs Sincerely Creative Mom, and that is where I've learned this from her. She is the queen of the pancake reeds, and we all bow down in her presence. So they have that. There's also a wood frame you can also get from Decor Exchange that's super, super thin. There's a little bit of a different method. That's her method. I'm not going to teach that one. That's kind of proprietary to her. But this is just the one that I do on this Dollar Tree frame. All right, we're going to go around. We're going to do this on the outside. Now, sometimes I can be really lazy, and I can decide that I want to put the ribbons on while I'm going around and doing the mesh. I'm not doing that today because I forgot. I didn't cut it yet, but that's okay. I'm going to have that as a separate discussion. So we're going to go around again. And here, let's talk through what we're doing here. And let me know what you guys are doing. Are you making any Halloween items? Let me know that. And let me know, what'd you do this weekend? What'd you do? What'd you do? There we go. We celebrated my dad's 80th birthday. His birthday was on Thursday. We took him to, last minute, we took him to Texas Roadhouse. Just for a quick little bite. But I made sure that they brought out the saddle, and they made my dad ride the saddle, which was awesome. He did it. He was a good sport. He got on and off that thing. Very limber. Very limber. So yesterday we had the family over to do cake. So we just had a nice little afternoon celebration with cake. We had my Aunt Sue brought a nothing bundt cake, which is one of our family favorites. And I bought this cute little happy 80th birthday cake topper made out of paper. And then I put the candles on the cake. And I put the candles a little too close to the cake topper. So we're sitting here singing happy birthday. The thing is lit. We're like kind of nearing the end. And my daughter Sarah, she's 27, her eyes got really big and she goes, "Oh my God!" And it was on fire. So so I had to like blow it out real quick, and then we finished singing, but he didn't get to blow out his candle, so then we lit it and did it again. But I've got to post that on my page because it's really funny, because I zoomed in when I was watching it afterwards, and I took screenshots of her face and how wide her eyes got wide. She's like, It was really funny. But I'm very glad that we didn't burn the house down. Thank God there were only 8 candles instead of 80. Can you imagine? That whole thing would have been ablaze. Don't tell my dad I said that. Oh my gosh, that's funny. All right, here we go. I'm still going on the outside. I'm still ruffling up my mesh, staying down that center point, okay? Going down the center point, keeping it centered. This is the last one on the outside ring, okay? Now the inside ring is a little different, just because we're putting it on the inside. It's exactly the same. But what I like to do is take the pipe cleaners and kind of pull them toward the middle so that I don't have to go hunting for them when I'm trying to get it added on there. Okay, so this is we have number 1. This is our first layer, okay? Nice and thin, like how I would love to be. All right, now we're gonna go on, here we go. We're gonna go on the inside now. First we went around the outside, Now we're going around the inside, All right, got my little bow shape. Putting it in here. I really don't know if it makes a difference for the design if I put the ribbons on at the same time I put on the mesh or not. I know that I used to put the inside ruffle on first and then struggle to put on the outside. That was a no. That was a no. I wasn't paying very close attention when I was watching Coach Melissa's method at first. So, yeah. Outside, then inside. All right, here we go. Ruffling these up. I gotta tell you, I did not want to get up this morning. Full disclosure, I didn't get up until a little while ago. Could not fall asleep. So my kid got herself off to school, which she does very well by herself now. I mean, she comes, she checks in with me. I check to make sure she looks good, you know, but we had the lunch made from the day before. So there wasn't anything I was really doing other than just making sure she was ready, which she was. She's very good about that. But I just could not get up. I was not feeling it, not feeling good. Still not feeling that great. Here we go. Here we go. And it's making me sad to think that I've got to put all my Halloween stuff away because I'm still having fun with Halloween. I've got a couple more custom pumpkins to make. And then that's, I think, going to be it now. I've got to pull out all my fall stuff in the warehouse. It's my garage. But I'm not putting it too far away because in case somebody decides they want something custom, I still have to keep the Halloween stuff kind of accessible. Even though I typically, I don't think I'm going to take any more super custom stuff for Halloween. But I will still continue to buy Halloween supplies, especially when they go on clearance, because then I store them and I use them next year. even though there's a bit of a carrying cost in terms of space and whatnot, but I like to start making stuff in like June, and places don't have that stuff out yet, so that's why I always like to have my backup stash. All right, here we go. Coming around. I love candy corn. I love it so much that actually, see, I was eating this Saturday night while I was making all that stuff. Breakfast of champions, baby. All right. Couple more pieces to go. Just two more. Just two more. Rolling this flat. Let's get this thing rolled up. You can really knock one of these out in less than an hour. Sometimes I can knock it out in about 40 minutes if I stop yapping and stuffing my face with candy corn. But when you first start, everything goes a little bit slower. But the more you do, the faster it goes. Here we go. All right. Walking it up, walking it up. Come on. Walking it up. All right, last ruffle. Boom, it's in. And as we go around and when we put in the ribbons and stuff, that's when you still might see some more of these, just little tiny strays. This mesh actually is pretty good. It's not fraying much at all. Some people will use a wood burner to cut the mesh. I don't, because I don't want to breathe that in. Plus, I don't think it's really necessary. But some people like a nice clean cut. All right, so this is our frame. Okay, this is what we've got so far. And that's how thin it is. Look at that. It's thin. It is. Let me see if I put that on. Yeah, it's 4 inches. Okay, so now I'm going to put this to the side, and I'm going to bring over my tower of ribbons. Okay, here's the tower of ribbons. Now, these two are only going to be used in the bow, so they can go to the side. But these are the ones I'm going to cut. Now, I cut my ribbon tails at, I cut these at 14 inches a piece. So the easiest way I do that, I mean, you can pull it out and measure it one by one, but I have this ribbon tail board by Hot Mesh Mom. It's at shophotmeshmom.com. And you can also find people who sell ribbon tail boards on Etsy. I love hers. And you just wrap the ribbon around this, okay? So I'm gonna start it here. And I need 12 pieces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, there we go. Cut that off at the end. Let me double check my comments. Oh, there's everybody. Linda, Kay, my friend Liz, my girl Liz, Barbara, Teresa. Thank you so much for joining, everybody. Thank you. Hello. Hello. Happy Monday. That seems like a contradictory term. Happy and Monday. Not so much. They go together now. All right. Now, this is a bit of a thinner ribbon, but it still does hold up. For being a thin ribbon, it still stays pretty stiff. And we all know that we like it stiff, don't we? Yes, we do. If memory serves. All right, and I'm going to dovetail the end. So what I've done is I've kept it stacked. I stack it nice and even, okay, on the ends. I fold it in half, right? So the wired edges are touching. I cut from the inside, angled toward the outside. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. Do the same on the other side. Pull it all even. Now, I only did half a stack, so I only did 6 at a time. If your scissors aren't super sharp, then I would only maybe do 3 or 4 at a time, just because you don't want to end up not having a really good sharp cut on the edge, and then it might fray or something. We don't want that. Okay. There we go. And I clean off my ribbon tails right away, because I can't stand the messy work spot. I know. Some people don't care. I've got a garbage can underneath here. I'm not just wiping it on the floor. All right, so that's 12 of those. Let me put this over here. Now, oh, so Teresa, yeah, that mesh came from Joann. And it's thin, but it's actually, for being thin mesh, It's kind of like the Michaels mesh, which is kind of like real thin, but it's actually a little stiffer than you would think. So I'm happy with it. I like it. I still do prefer the candy corn pattern from, do I still have one? Oh, I think I used it from like Craft Outlet or something like that, where it's a little bit thicker. That's still my go-to, but all right, I have got another roll of this should I end up using it up. So this is a little bit thicker, so I don't think I can cut, I can't dovetail 6 at a time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and a little tiny bit left. All right, so I have to open up the other roll for the bow, but I made it on this roll. I'm so excited. Okay, I take my extras. I do hold on to, like, this is long enough where I could put it as a small tail in a bow, which I will do. But I hold on to it. If it's like 3 or 4 inches, I'll get rid of it. But okay, so there's that side. And now we're coming on the other side. Looking at all this candy corn is making me hungry. I realized I don't have anything here for lunch today. Don't know what I'm gonna get for lunch. But I have to go to Menards later. It's like here in the Midwest, it's like Home Depot. But I ordered 10 clear plastic bins that I'm going to use to put away all my Halloween stuff. And clean out my closet, because I've lost 30 pounds. And I'm so excited. I'm so happy for myself. I'm down 30 pounds since February. Thanks to Moonjaro. But I'm trying to get rid of some of my larger clothes. I don't want to completely get rid of them, because I feel like if I do, then that just means I'm going to gain the weight back. So if I hold on to them, then I won't lose them. Then the weight will stay off. Does that make any sense? It's like cursing myself. So I'm going to use some of the bins for that too, but mostly for craft stuff, because I don't like to keep anything not in a bin in my garage, especially all my craft stuff. Foam pumpkins take up a lot of space. So a lot of the bins are the whole foam pumpkins for next year. But speaking of which, I will tell you, I don't have it in here with me, but I was at Walmart last week and they had very large, tall pumpkins. I'd say about maybe 14 inches tall. They're flocked. They had orange, black, and then they had like this light minty teal that would be perfect for fall. They're really lightweight. They're very, very big, but they were only $9.99 and they're so cute. I should have brought one in. I'm sorry I didn't. All right, so now what we have is our ribbons and a wreath. So I want this is going to be my bottom ribbon, okay? It's going to be bottom. And then this one's going to go on the top, because this is the one that has the pattern that I want to focus on, obviously, because it's got the candy corn, okay? So I just line them up on top of each other, bend it in half, okay? And then I can see where the center point is, where the bends are. So I just scrunch it up in the middle, and then I like to kind of go like this a little bit. Now on the outside, we're going to start on the outside, all right? Don't do what I did before. I start on the outside. I'm going to undo the pipe cleaner, okay? It's undone. You'll notice though that the mesh does not pop out. It just kind of stays in there because we've already squished it. It's retaining that, so that's kind of nice. It's not springing forth like, you know, when you open up like one of those fake toffee cans and the snakes come out. That doesn't happen. Right, so I'm putting that right in there at the pipe cleaner, and now I'm going to twist it. I'm going to keep twisting it until I have about an inch that's all twisted. I want it to look like one solid piece, okay? So I've got that. See, it's twisted and it's up about an inch. I'm going to cut it off at the top. All right, so cut off the extra little things. And then all I do is find where my little seam is. Okay, that's where the little gap is. And I just push it down, and push the mesh right back over it, and it looks like that. Right? Super easy, super easy. Now I'm going to separate my ribbons. I like to pull my bottom ribbon out to the right and my top ribbon out to the left, and then I do the same on the other side. Bottom to the right, top to the left. And we end up with a pattern like this. So it's every other one. Okay, that's what it looks like. Now you could, if you wanted to, you could move this and then you could do that. Just have the black on the inside and flat on the outside. But that breaks it up a little too much for me. I like to make it look symmetrical. So that's why I kind of just do the alternating, the every other. Okay, so we've got 6 on the outside to do, so let's do that as quick as we can. I undo the pipe cleaner before I grab my ribbon. It just works easier for me that way. Then I don't have to try to undo it with one hand while I'm holding the ribbon. Okay. Boom, fold it over, make the line, scrunch it up, make the V, stick it in, twist the wire, twist, twist, twist up to 1 inch. Snippy, snippy, give it a little vasectomy. Ooh, here you go, poor baby. Here's a bag of peas. Sit down. Push that thing in there. Separate my tails. And you will probably have to go back and readjust your tails. Sometimes they kind of want to go back together, or as you work on it, you might, knock into it, think things are going to move. That's just the way it is. This is kind of just in there temporarily. This is not the final fluff, okay? You don't want to be a fluffer. If you don't know what a fluffer is, do not look it up on the internet. You don't want to know. It's a term. It's a term for people who work in the adult film industry. So, yeah. I found that out accidentally. Just don't look it up. Don't look it up. It'll change all the stuff that pops up on your internet searches. Trust me. Don't. All right. Get that in there. Here's the third one. I just love candy corn. Okay, so when do you guys think it's acceptable for me to start decorating the outside? Because I was thinking like September 1st. And screw my HOA. I'm putting it up when I want to put it up, right? I'm talking about, I've got a garland that goes over the door. I've got some light up blow molds. I've got, of course, my wreath. I want to add some more fun stuff this year. I want to really take it, I think, over the top. And it is, my outdoor theme is candy corn. I told you guys I love candy corn. I don't like scary Halloween. Plus, my daughter, she's 11 now. Now she's okay with some scary stuff. But before, she used to be terrified of anything scary for Halloween. So I had to keep it very child-friendly. So it was like the ghosts with the happy smiling faces and the candy corn, the cute little pumpkins. I don't like really scary either. So I'm going to put it up, but I'm wondering when I should put it up. Because I bought one of those over-the-door garland holders. Mainly to like take pictures when I make garlands and stuff. But I tried to lay my garland in there and it still didn't stick out enough. So I have to like use wire and stuff. So I got it off of Amazon. Am I thrilled with it? Not particularly, but I didn't find anything else out there on the internet that I think would have worked. I think it might be the same one that Damon has at Deco Exchange. When they've got the little door backdrop and stuff. I think it might be that one, but I'm not entirely sure. Okay, this one goes on the bottom. This one goes on the top. Bending it in half, making my seam, scrunching it up at the seam, making my V shape, putting it in, doing the twist. Twist, 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 twist. There we go. Ooh, there we go. Pushing that little pipe cleaner piece down so it's hidden. You don't have to wrap it around anything on the back. You just kind of like poke it in there and it just stays because it's nice and small. It's teeny tiny. Oh, the plaid ribbon. This came from Craft Outlet, and let me tell you, it is item number RL3159. I believe they still carry this. This is a 50-yard spool, but I think they might also have this in 10-yard spools. But I love this. I've used, I feel like I've had this spool forever, and I use it on a lot of stuff, and it still looks like I've got a ton left. All right. Burn the ships. You got rid of the bigger clothes. I know, Liz, I should, right? But I don't know. For some reason, I can't just yet. Maybe I'll be like, okay, if I maintain for a year, then I'll get rid of it. Because I don't know. Because honestly, if you're not plus size, and you don't know the struggle, but like trying to find anywhere that sells plus size clothes, like here's my options. There's a Lane Bryant that there's still one left around me, fortunately, that I can go to. There's Torrid, but that stuff is meant for like people in their like teens and 20s, and like a lot of that just looks a little too young for my demographic. And then there's like online ordering. Like sometimes I can find stuff at Macy's, but I don't know. It's just as plus a lot of the countries has women that are plus size here, but yet we are marginalized, and you know, it's like they act like we don't exist or need to buy clothing. It really stinks. It really stinks. But like Target's, I think, getting more size inclusive, but their shit's ugly. Have you seen some of the stuff they got there lately? It's just like, what are, no. Do you remember the Prairie stuff? It looked like Little House on the Prairie. I'm like, at the time, I was still in my 40s, and I'm like, I don't want to be a 45-year-old Laura Wilder. I just don't. No. I don't know. So I don't even look there for clothes anymore. All right, so here's the outside. All right, so that's what it looks like on the outside. We did not add much volume. The ribbons didn't add any volume because this is on the outside ring. They might add a little bit more volume once we do the inside ring, but not much. Just a little bit. Okay, here we're going to go. I'm going to try to shut my mouth and go as quick as I can here. All right. Bend. Ruffle. Here we go. All right. Twisty, twisty, twisty. Snip. I did cut my finger once doing that, so now I'm very careful when I do the little snip off, because I wasn't paying close attention. Well, I pay attention now, because that freaking hurt. All right, now this, I'm going to go a little bit bigger, almost making like a bit of an X shape on this one here. A little bit wider. There we go. All right. Going around, and then we have to attach our sign and make the bow, and we really don't have that much more to go. It probably looks like more than it is. Here we go. All right, bending it over. Here we go. Bringing it up. Then I can eat my lunch, catch up on some General Hospital for a little bit. I was gone in Florida for like 10 days, and I came back, and there's so much stuff I have to catch up on TV. I feel like it's homework. It's like, oh, one more thing I have to do. I'm like, no, I don't have to. I don't have to. But General Hospital, yeah, I have to. All right, here we go. Here we go. I keep checking my comments. They keep going away. Your HOA means business. You know, our HOA is not bad. I mean, honestly, because like, our HOA fees are like maybe $200 a year. They don't do much other than maintain like the signs on the outside and mow some of the communal areas and stuff. So they're not bad, but I did have to deal with them when I put up my fence, and they were very nice. I just don't want to get one of those people that's like, it's not time yet, 30 days before the holiday or whatever. I don't know. What I really want to do is get those permanent lights, like affixed to the top of my house. Get all that done. I would love to get that done, and then I never have to put out lights again, because I would just have to select whatever light colors and patterns I wanted. I'm thinking of investing in that. I am considering it. I probably should make a phone call and get that done before it gets close to winter, just because the older I get, I can't be outside putting up lights and all this other stuff. I mean, I never put them on. I never go on a ladder to put up lights. It's just in the bushes, because I know if I get up on a ladder to do that, that's it. I will get on a step ladder to put up my garland up, and that's as far as it goes. I'm afraid of heights. I'm not afraid of the height. I'm afraid of falling from the height. I think that's what it is. Yeah. All right, here we go. So I don't know. I'm sure I'll look into it, and they'll be like, it's $5,000. And I'll be like, okay, thank you very much. No. But we'll see. We'll see. I know they sell them online. The problem is not buying them from Amazon. The problem is having somebody put them up. Because I got a 2-story house, and it'd be like way, way, way up. So nobody I know is going to get on a ladder and go up that high. No, thank you. No way. All right, here we go. Ugh, Stay there. Come on. I'm really glad I did not go with more black because I think that would have been way too heavy on this wreath. It would have, I think, dragged it down, so to speak. Maurice's. You know what? I can't find any Maurice's by me anymore. And there used to be Catherine's as well. Can't find any more here either. So, you know, and then I'll buy from like online catalogs and stuff sometimes. But it's just, it's really disheartening. So I'll be very excited when I can go into like a non-plus size store and try to find something. But I'm always going to be plus size because I got the big tatas and my bone structure is kind of a little bigger. So, you know, my goal, I would love to be able to be a size 16. That would be fabulous. Right now, I'm hovering at a 20. And I've lost weight. My legs, my thighs got super skinny. I think from like walking around Universal, my thighs got skinny. I lost it under here, losing it under the arms, but it's still right in here. I cannot lose the belly. It feels like it's one of those like cortisol bellies from like stress. Yeah. There's just a little bit of stress. You know. We'll see. I'll give it time. I just gave myself my shot like 10 minutes before I started the live, so. Aria likes to be the one to press the needle for me, but I forgot to take it last night, which I'm very upset with myself because Sunday night is my medication night and I forgot. So I had to hit the button all by myself. But I like to hand her the pen. I'm like, jab me. No. I place it and she just pushes the button, but it makes her feel cool. So I'm like, okay, go for it. All right, so here is our finished. Well, finished with the tails. We're not done yet, but this is the wreath. Hi. And then that's how thin it is, okay? Super, super thin. Next thing I want to do is add on the sign. So for that, I need my staple gun. And I need some cardboard. All right, I'm gonna be good. I'm not gonna use my good blue handled scissors to cut the cardboard. I'm just gonna cut, this is a mesh tube, okay? I have to put cardboard, little pieces. I need 4 1-inch squares essentially, okay? Because my staples are longer than the sign, and if I just staple pipe cleaners right on there, what happens is it's no bueno because it'll poke through the front of the sign. So you could always get smaller staples. I think the ones I use are 5/16, I think. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut little squares. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I use 2 on one side and 2 on the other. So I'm gonna move this so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. All right. Here's our sign. I got this from Craft Outlet, I believe. But a lot of places have the same kind of signs. So they all basically come from Craig Bachman Industries or some importer like that. All right, so I'm going to snip off this. We don't need that. We don't need that. Another method you can use is also if you get those cable tie mounts and if you attach with E6000 and then hot glue around it, that also works. But I just like a good old-fashioned staple. You know, I know it's not going to come undone. You don't have to worry about glue or anything. You know, just it's there. So I put one on either side. I'm just going right in the middle. And I just take my pipe cleaner. All right, make sure that's kind of centered. Set that there. And I'm just going to push down because that cardboard is a little round because it was on a tube. So I just flatten it and go 1, 2, 3. I like to make sure that that sucker ain't going nowhere. You are there, baby. All right, push down. 1, 2, 3. All right. So now let's talk sign placement and bows. So I haven't even thought this far, so I'm gonna need your opinion. Help me with this, guys. I'm gonna need your help. All right, so we can put this at the top and put a bow at the bottom. I can put this at the bottom and put a little rounded bow at the top. I could put this on an angle and have a bow on the side. I don't like that idea. I kind of really just want to do, I think I want to do the sign at the top and the bow toward the bottom, if that makes sense. Okay? So now if I do it like this, it looks like it's got antennas coming out. So if I put it here and here, then this comes kind of straight up out of the top. I'd rather kind of almost move it that way and have it more like this. So this means that I'm gonna have to get the pipe cleaners in between these spots here that don't have the little pipe cleaners and the ribbons. So that's gonna be a little bit trickier, but it can absolutely be done. So I'm gonna want one on the outside of the rings and then one on the one coming in through rings 2 and 3. So fortunately, this mesh is pretty thin and wide. Like there's a lot of gap between in the weave. So I got the one side. Let me pull that in. Okay, side 1. I'm just putting it temporarily there for now in case I decide I need to move it, okay? Now I'm going back to the other side, and I'm gonna do inside and then outside. Okay, so that's gonna be the outside one. You gotta make sure that you're going through just mesh and not trying to poke it through where the bottom layer of ribbon is. We don't want that, okay? It's a little bit harder sometimes to get it through when you're trying to poke it through actual mesh because you'll get like a piece, like one tiny little thread of it will get snagged or stuck on the pipe cleaner, as I am experiencing now, hence why I'm telling you this. And then it won't go. So then you got to kind of just wiggle around it. All right. Okay, so I got that on the outside ring. Now I'm going to put it through for the inside ring. Oh, come on. This is the easy one. Should be going through easy. Come on. All right. Make sure I like it. Make sure the placement looks good. Am I feeling it? Yeah. All right. So I'm going to flip it over. Now we can make it permanent, okay? So I'm just going to, just what we did before, I like to just twist the whole thing into one long piece, and then I just trim it to be even, okay? And then we just wrap it around the rings that are already there, all right? The whole point is to keep everything nice and smooth on the back so that we don't scratch the door. So I just bring it down, under, there we go. Sometimes it'll be a little bit longer, so bring it down, over, there we go, just boom. All right, let's see, nice, flush, nothing's gonna get snagged or stuck. All right. All right, so now we're gonna make a bow. And I'm gonna make it, it's gonna end up going down here, but it's gonna be one of those rounded bows. I don't think I'm gonna have tails that are coming down. Well, maybe I will. Maybe I will. I have some shorter tails, not super long tails, okay? So I'm gonna put this to the side. All right. I just threw it on the floor. Nice. All right. So we did not use this one, so I'm gonna put this one away. But I'm gonna have to open that new spool of the black. So here we're going with sorry, okay, here's my dilemma. I'm trying to think, because I don't want to have, if I have plaid, black, and then black, that's a lot of black. But I could go that, and then the plaid, and then this, and then I wouldn't have to add in an orange layer. I think that's what I'm going to do, okay? Call me crazy. Many people do. All right, Marsha, thanks for joining. Oh, Barbara, I'm so glad you're liking the wreath. I am too. I'm loving it. Okay, so I'm going to open, wait, sorry, those scissors go that way. I'm going to open the plastic. Isn't there something so satisfying about snipping off the cellophane on a new roll of ribbon? I don't know. I'm a little weird, guys. I'm a little weird. It's the same kind of satisfaction I get like when you open a brand new package of like pink erasers for school. All right, I'm weird. I like to dovetail to start. All right. This is the Easy Bows Design Pro. There is a link to it in my profile on my link tree. I love this one because these are plastic dowels. These dowels do not fall out. And then it lets me go super wide. There is a wood version of this that is about half the price, that you just hammer the dowels in, and it works just as well. All right, so I'm going to put this in here. Let's figure out how long I want for a tail. Let's bring the wreath back. Let's figure out how long of a tail do I want. Okay. Maybe I want the tail to kind of hang down a little bit. So we're going to go with, okay, this long. So it looks like this tail is about 11 inches long, okay? And I can always trim these tails shorter when I'm done. But I think I want the bow to kind of hang a little bit below the wreath on this one. So we're going to go 11 inches, okay? It's just an inch past where it says 10. 10 plus 1 is 11. I learned that in school. Yay me. All right. All right, so I've got that. What I did is we twist the ribbon. We pinch and twist. Get a nice thin pinch and twist. That goes right in the holder. So this is the back side of the ribbon. I'm going to bring it around. Bring it through. And I think we're going to do a 6-inch loop on that side. And then pinch and twist. I'm going to do a 6-inch loop on the other side. All right. Pinch and twist. And I want to do another set of loops. So we're going to do it again. Put it in there. Measuring. When you push it down, see how it bows? It should measure about to the same place as the layer before. That's important. It's important that your loops are the same size. Okay. And here we go. All right. Now, fortunately, over here on my left side, your right side, it actually goes out to 11 inches here. So I know I can cut here. And dovetail. All right, then I'm going to bring it into me. Perfect. All right. So this loop will go up. This loop will come down. This loop will go up. That one comes down. All right. Very, very cute. Oh, I started with the wrong layer. Oh, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. I didn't. I forgot. I had changed my mind. Right. Oh, let me pin this. I used to just let my ribbons just kind of like run free, and I didn't pin them, and eventually it got a little rough, and I was losing some of the ribbon because it would get all wrinkled and stuff. So now I pin everything, and it makes it so much easier. So much easier. All right, so here's our next layer. This is what I call candy corn plaid. All right, dovetail it. Now I want this one to be about an inch above the last one. So this would end up being like about a 10-inch tail. Yep, a 10-inch tail. And then instead of having pinch twist, okay, this is the back side. It's hard to tell on a ribbon like this, but this is the back side. All right. I don't want to block your view, so I'm going to go this way. So I'm bringing this down. Now, this was about a 6-inch loop, so this one I want it to be about a 5.5-inch. Okay. 5.5. Pinch and twist. Okay. Do a 5.5-inch loop on this side. Make sure it looks like 5.5. It does. All right. Pinch and twist. We're going to do this again. Pinch and twist. And pinch and twist. Now, up, down, up, kind of down there. All right. I'm going to do something a little different on that top layer, so I'll show you. So now, I'm just, another way to do this is I'm just taking my tails bringing them together, and I kind of see where I have to cut in order to make these even. Instead of having to pull it out to the left, I can just kind of bring the two together and take a look, and boom, there we go. Nice and pretty. Okay, so let me show you what we are looking like so far with the bow. Put this back in here. I love this plaid. Sometimes if there's a pattern I really, really love and I see that it's on sale, I'll get it and hold on to it, because you never know when they'll discontinue certain patterns. Aw, Aunt Sue's watching. It's under Jennifer Zeta. That's my aunt, my godmother. All right, so this is what we have so far, right? Nice and cute. Now we're adding the top layer. So it's another kind of black with candy corn. All right, and again, I'm weird. I'm gonna, boop. All right. So this will probably be about a 9-inch tail. Yep, because remember I came up 1 inch from either side. So then this one, I'm making this, this is 4 inches, okay? The 1.5 inch is 4 inches. Okay, coming over here, 5, that's like 4 inches. Pinch and twist, do another set. Now the one thing I was debating doing was, we don't have anything that's kind of really in the center of our bow, so I was thinking of putting an extra loop up here. Debating, so it would kind of look like that. But I'm not sure. Yeah, I want to do it. All right. And another loop. All right. So, normally, if this were just, if this were just, I wasn't putting anything else in there, I would bring this over and I would bring it back this way and make a loop that has 2 fingers, okay? But I'm not going to do that because I'm actually going to be putting something in the center of this bow. So I'm going to leave that as it is, and I'm going to cut it to be the same length down here. Okay. There we go. Looking good. All right. So I'm very excited about this. I'm very excited to almost be done so I can go eat something. All right. There we go. Okay. Because remember, I've got these, right? I've got these. We're going to see what we can do with these. I may not use them all. I might only use one. Who knows? All right, so I'm going to take my pipe cleaner. I'm going to pull this up. Now, I just pull it up a little bit so I can get my hand under the bottom. I want to pull up from the top while squish down from the top while pulling up from the bottom. This is a big BLT sandwich. I don't want to lose any of my layers. Squish it, keep it together, okay? Pipe cleaner. It's coming through between the fingers. All right. All right. Now, I'm going to squish it against my boobs because I'm using what God gave me, right? All right. Now I'm twisting this just once. If I want to make this tighter, I twist the bow, right? That makes it nice and tight, okay? Pull that in a little bit. All right. I'm gonna move this to the side, and now we're gonna fluff out our Bozy Wozy. Oops, I knocked that down. All right, so let's fluff it out. All right. Now this, see both of these tails want to go to that side, so I'm gonna take the bottom one and pull it over to the other side. Now you can't even tell. Looks like it was made to go there. All right. Take your fingers and run them down all the wires on the tails. That's what kind of makes it kind of curve under, look nice and finished. Sometimes that might mean you may have to go back in. Little tiny pieces of wire might stick out of the bottom, so you might have to adjust that a little bit. Okay, so here's our little center loop. Then we've got that, or that. Okay. I'm going to put this bow in, and then I'm going to put in the little center thing, okay, because I don't want to knock it off. So let's get the wreath. Let's clean up the mess. Sorry. All right. Come on, baby. Here's our wreath. All right. So what we want to do is put him right down here. All right. So that means it's going to have to go between these two spots. So again, we're doing like we did before with the sign. We have to feed the pipe cleaner through the mesh. It's just got a couple layers to go through. So you might have to even just push through one at a time. You know, take a look at where you're going if it doesn't want to go through all at once. It'll get there. All right. Alrighty. Looking good. In the back, I'm just twisting it. Okay, until we got a solid piece. And then it's just going, twisting around the frame. And just tuck in the end. There we go. All right. Cute. All right, I'm gonna have it facing me for a minute so I can adjust this. I think I do like that I left the tails a little bit longer here. It's looking cute. Going up there. Up there. Here we go. All right. So now what I want to do is we got these little pieces. Now, I was trying to figure out where else I could probably put some of these. But I don't think I want to put them up top or anything like that. Honestly, I think I just want one in the center of the bow. I don't want it to be too kitschy, right? I want it to be cute, but I do want to have something in the center of the bow. Okay. So, I'm just going to take this one. Now, I will be adding a little bit of glue, but for right now, I'm going to try to focus on using, see how it's wired in there? I want to leverage this wire, okay? So, I'm going to try to do is get it in the center. And I'm doing exactly like I did when I was trying to get the bow through here, is I'm trying to push it through some of this mesh, all right? And I've got it through, and then I can just kind of sort of bend it up in place a little bit. I will add a dab of glue, but see how it came through? And all I have to do is just bend this down again. Bend it in place. Because if it's sitting in the sun, sometimes the glue, if you use a lot of glue, and if it's like a super hot storm door, if it's in the storm door, it's like an oven in there, and we don't want to lose any of our goodies, right? So that's in there with wire, but I am going to add a little bit of glue. I'm just going to put it actually on the bow part and then just press the candy corn down onto it. Then I can go from behind and press to make sure it's on there. Now, I've got enough layers between me and the glue where I'm not going to end up burning myself, because that's always my number one concern. But see, this candy corn, it's thin. All right, it's not making it super thick. It's nice and cute and thin, and there's just one. Okay, let me double check, make sure everything looks nice and cute. All right, it does. The last thing I want to do is grab a zip tie. I don't know, I kind of wonder if I should put little candy corns. I kind of think I want to put, let me see, we might not be done, let me get my little, all right, get the paper off of this. Let me see if I want to add these little candy corns to the other spots. Now, it'll be easier to get these through because I've got a spot already made. Yeah, I kind of think I want to add in some little candy corns. All right. Because I've got the wire back there, so that's going to help. I'll add a little bit of glue. Just a dab. Just to kind of keep it in place. But you can see along the back, you can't even really see the wire, but I pushed it through and I just bent it. Just pushed it through and then just curl it around, and it stays on there very nicely. Okay, so let's do this one next, and then I'll do the top. So we'll end up using 5 candy corns for this, so I'll have a 6th one left. All right, I'm gonna poke this through here. And try to get it through. There we go, I can feel it going through. Okay. All right, and I'm able to poke that right around. All right, see, it's just right there, just bent right around. All right, let me get my ribbons positioned correctly, so that way when I add my little dab of glue, it's glued to the correct one. All right, just a dab of glue, that's all it needs. But I still got to hold it in place for a second to make sure it adheres. Just don't, if you're gluing onto one single ribbon, don't put your finger directly behind it, because that glue will go through that one ribbon and it will burn you. Because I just did that to myself right now. All right, here's the next set. These came from Dollar Tree. Believe it or not, these are so cute. I was really impressed by the quality of these. These are from Dollar Tree. And I even like them better than the ones that I found from like Joann and stuff. Is that funny? You can find some really cute stuff at Dollar Tree. I don't use their mesh. Sometimes I will buy their ribbon if I'm trying to like, I buy like a $1 spool of that ribbon, like $1.25, and I make a bow out of it, and I sell it for like $2.99, $3. It's just a way to make something super cheap that sells. All right, so this one I'm gonna go through here. All right. That one came through. All right. I'm glad I added this. Just wanted to add a little extra something. I mean, I can make it nice and basic. The problem is, like, with the pancake wreath, I don't sell them for that much money, so I don't really want to put so much money in terms of the products, because I won't recoup that much. But if it's something like this from Dollar Tree and it was $1.25 for 3 of these on a pick, that's perfect. Perfect. All right. A little dab of bluesy. Ooh, hell, that's out. Ooh, 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 ooh. I'm going to hold it with the scissors. I'm not going to use my hand this time, because I'm finally learning not to be stupid. There we go. All right, then we just put the last one in. Right through here. Here we go. And then I got to put the zip tie on the back to hang it from, but that's like super, super quick. You don't have to use the zip tie. You can even use like a chenille stem if you want. I like using zip ties. I also hang my wreaths from the zip ties. So some people may not. Some people might just hang it on their wreath ring or their wreath holder just by the ring. That they could snip it off then. I'm just trying to make sure that I've got it on there well enough for me. Because I end up storing a lot of wreaths. You guys should see my garage. My garage is a disaster. My son's room he doesn't have a room anymore. I took it over. If he wants to stay over, he has to stay in the guest room now. Of course, he's 25 and he lives at his dad's, so, you know. I don't know the next time he's going to want to stay by me. All right. Get that in there. All right, let's get a little zip tie on the back. actually going to try to put it down through there. I like to put it through the pipe cleaner, so it kind of stays a little bit extra for me. All right. It also hangs nice when I have to take the pictures of it too. All right, so that's snips. All right, so let's take a look. Make sure everything's nice and fluffed, and then we're going to hold it sideways, and you can see the thickness of this wreath. Okay. These squish down. They squished with the ribbon. Okay. Oh, wait, I see a string. I see a string. All right. Making sure we see all of our different ribbons. Everything looks good. So as we work through this, sometimes the ones on the outside layer will, they'll curl under a little bit. We just got to go back and refluff our ribbons, spread them out again. Make sure everything is looking perfect. I never fails, because then as soon as I go put it up to take a picture, I'll notice something that isn't right, and then I got to start all over. That's the way it goes. Taking pictures for me is the worst part of selling stuff. I hate that part, and listing it. Ugh. But it is what it is. It's all part of the process, baby. All right. Here is our finished candy corn wreath. All right. There we go. And then here is the width. The squishes. See how this bow is very flat? All right, so this will go on a storm door, and it will be perfect. And then I hold it up to the light, and you can just take the little tiny strings that are kind of sticking out a little bit. There's not that many. They actually seem to be behaving themselves very nicely. Very nicely. All right, here we go. So I will also have this listed at sweetariadecor.com within just a little bit. I have the coordinating pumpkin is already out there as well. So here we go. Next week, we're going to be moving into fall, so I do hope you join me next week for Monday Craft Afternoon. We're going to be doing something fall. Not sure what, but probably not a wreath, since we just made a wreath today. Maybe we'll do another pumpkin or bows. But today is Happy International Bow Day, so go out there and practice your bow making. What better day to do it than today? All right, I will see you hopefully at sweetariadecor.com, or I will see you here on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube. All right, have a great week, everybody. All right, take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe. You can shop my store at sweetariadecor.com, and you can follow me all over social media.